Hey, and thanks for joining us in podcast episode 14, now free to play. Joining me, of course, as always, is Bob.
Hey.
And Dr. Aggro.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we're going to do is yet again that nice tried and true format of 2 episodes. Talking about what we're playing.
GigaBoots podcast has really gone downhill since episode 13.
Yes, I know, we really got to earn it this episode.
We're sorry for the continuing low quality of our podcast. We have brought in outside help. By the time we're done, it won't even be the same podcast.
Yeah. Episode 14 was a bit rushed, and we're canceling the port to the PS3. But, you know, we're going to rework the whole thing. It's going to be free to play until we figure this out. Hopefully. So, join us, if you will, as we talk about what games we're playing, what we're looking forward to, cover up the most recent news. No one got fired! And then talk about our roundtable, which our roundtable topic has to do with the fact that we played Sonic Generations. It is which old video game franchise aged the best?
Spoiler warning. It wasn't Sonic.
Yeah, that is a bit of a spoiler there, Aggro, because I'm sure they thought it was. But, yeah, stick around and we'll do that. Cue the musical transition.
What do you mean we don't have the musical transition?
You just interrupted the musical transition. We're now talking under the musical transition. I hope you know this is completely ruined now. Fuck! What games you playing, Bob?
What game am I playing?
Uncharted 3.
Oh, right.
Spoiler alert.
I played True Uncharted 3, yes. Which actually prevented me from playing this guy 4. But,
oh, shit.
But this guy...
For the first week.
For the first week, in the sense it came out. But Uncharted 3, yeah, excellent.
Excellent!
Yeah, excellent. Totally tubular, all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anything else? I saw you touching Pokemon, but I think that's the first time you've even...
Yeah. I guess we
that.
Played Battlefield. Did that land.
A shitload.
Yeah, we played a lot of Battlefield.
Yeah, we didn't actually bring that up at any point in time, I don't think, in the prior ones, because we always thought Uncharted 3, we never once brought up that Dan would be horribly addicted to Battlefield 3, and that all content production on the website would cease because of Battlefield 3. Which you never see these things coming. They only have trailers all year long.
I don't know, looking up dates and making predictions based on past patterns and accumulated data. That doesn't sound cool.
Well, see, here's the thing. This is a freakish occurrence for me because the last Battlefield I truly enjoyed this much was 1942, the first one.
They put out a Battlefield in 1942?
Yeah. It was on the Atari ZT, which was a very, very good platform until it broke, and it made that sound when it broke. Yeah.
But you played after sound,
see,
really?
Funny thing to name it after.
Yeah.
Did Microsoft make it?
No, then it would be the Microsoft.
Oh man, I hope people
that beautiful noise.
that noise is glorious. Each generation has that nice, awesome glitch. The disc read error. Oh, what's next gen gonna be? Is it gonna be the everything went down glitch? Because that happened for a day on the PS3, if you recall. Wait a second, this isn't a leap year. What the fuck is today? I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was quite something.
That was fucking great. But yeah, for me, Battlefield 3 and Aggro's like me, Mooch's copy of Uncharted 3.
Oh, am I?
Well,
I just didn't know that was happening.
Oh yeah, you were.
No, I told you could. I just didn't know it was happening.
Oh yeah, I only played it in one spree. Got all the way up to the Syrian castle, and then haven't touched it since.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm playing a shitload of Pokemon. I'm still not done with White yet.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. What are you doing, Ira?
I am listlessly between. Look, Skyrim's not out yet. All right. I beat Uncharted 3 in like 2 days. And Skyrim's not out yet, god damn it. I'm getting drunk and playing tower defense games on the internet is what I'm doing, okay?
Sad.
I'm getting drunk, playing tower defense games, and crying.
You know Uncharted 3 has a multiplayer, right?
I do,
I'm not sure if
and
you
I
noticed
don't know why I'm not playing it.
Oh, that's sad. Because, I mean...
Yeah, that's a good multiplayer.
You know, it's fucking awesome. I haven't touched it yet.
If I weren't completely, like, changed by Battlefield 3, I would say that it is a great multiplayer. But that term, great, has been redefined by Battlefield 3's extreme bliss. So, what I'm going to say instead
Dan, what's the time you spent yelling at that game?
Yeah. Well, in Team Deathmatch. God, do I yell at Team Deathmatch. But I enjoy it too. For some reason, that mode is just so much more frustrating than any other mode, because in most other modes, sheer tactical, like strategy and etc. will win. You can win with that. Like, we could go in with a troop of 4 guys, totally fucking take a point and fuck them in the ass. Team Deathmatch, no.
Certainly not.
You train on killing.
Okay, well, I suppose for the Uncharted 3 multiplayer, Bob, you and me need to get back together and do that 2v2v2 mode.
Yeah,
maybe not.
And try not to have people put things up our butts this time.
GigaBoots hasn't been the same since you two separated. You should get back together. You really
It's just so awkward here in the office with Dan watching.
I don't think I'm even going to respond to that one.
He's not going to dignify your love with a response.
Stop distancing yourself emotionally, Bob. And physically. Bring that sweet ass over here.
Your stutter makes your gay love even gayer, actually. But in any case, yeah, so I guess that's what we're playing. I mean, you two should be playing Uncharted 3 multiplayer. I should render this podcast as quickly as I can so I can get back to Battlefield. Actually, you know what? I'll render that Sonic Generations quickly we did days ago.
Yeah, that needs to be rendered.
I don't... Like, our fan base...
Wait, how many did you do? Isn't there one up on the website?
Well, we did one of each demo, because people kept... It's great. Every time we fucking do one of these, Aggro, every time, I'm not sure I brought this up with you. I bring it up with Bob, because him and I love the ignorance of people. Every time we did a quick play of a demo, they kept insisting, why are you doing it of the demo? The final game's going to be so much better. Why'd you do it of this demo? There's another demo coming out. So we did both demos and the final game. Spoiler alert, it fucking sucks.
Man, they don't need to go watch it. They know. You spoiled it.
They don't know how much it's... Oh, wait, fucking...
You are ruining our website.
I think Battlefield 3 is ruining our website. But let's, we'll go ahead. Oh, wait, actually, you know what? Let's set it up real quick. You're obviously looking forward to Skyrim.
Yeah.
That is what you're That face is terrifying.
My life is a black morass until that game comes out. And I can go into actual black morasses to kick some asses.
Bob, what are you looking forward to? You said something about...
Yeah, definitely.
Mario?
There's Mario at the end of this week. Then there's Zelda at the end of next week.
Oh, God.
In between them, I have Ultimate Mario vs. Capcom. So I'm pretty excited about this next week coming up here.
Yeah, that's a good solid week. I'm looking forward to Battlefield 3.
I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, it is, actually.
Every day, Battlefield 3 is new.
It's new, yeah. Plus, Back to Karkin comes out next month with Wake fucking Island.
The map. After that comes out, I don't know if we'll bother with any other.
Like, dude, I was trying to explain to my girlfriend, because she was there when I watched that trailer. I'm not sure I told you the story, Bob, but I'm watching the trailer, and it's just... You know, it's kind of bland trailer. It's showing off the maps. It's like, you know, we have Karkin and this place and that place and Wake Island. It's just a shot of the beach, and I'm like, yeah! And my girlfriend's like, what the fuck? It's a beach. So I had to explain. As much insane amount of time I've thrown into Battlefield 3, I've thrown more time than that just into that one map. On 1942, easily.
Now, I hear a lot of love from Battlefield players for Wake Island.
Yes.
And I just have to ask, do you guys... actually know Wake Island?
Yeah.
No,
you totally.
I read that text blurb. They put it up there.
Just checking. All right, moving on.
Well, let's go ahead and moving on to the news roundup. Transitional music, go. We're still transitioning. Don't say. Yeah, it is. Now it's a double. Keep quiet. Okay, and now it's done. Now
we can't get it to go away. It keeps coming back. Why would it do this?
One moment. I'm fixing it. I'm gonna fix this.
Hack all the IPs, Dan.
Okay, I got it. I fixed it. In any case,
That was stunning.
it was. That was beautiful.
It was an epic internet battle. Several people were typing on many keyboards, sometimes simultaneously.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if two people are typing on the same keyboard, that just gets it done faster.
I was
Proven
using
fact.
a joystick to go through a fully rendered 3D environment to operate a computer.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I had to physically find file locations and protect them from
Most
robots.
people don't know. Aggro's middle name is Job, actually. Yeah.
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 That is...
He is the creature inside the machine. He's the ghost in the shell.
Yep.
That is who he is.
I like lawnmowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sexy cowboy pictures.
No, you're making that up.
No, you gotta watch that movie again.
Oh my god.
You know, part of me is like, yeah, and the other part of me is like,
That's like the only thing I remember from that film. I'm like, dude, you're straight up queer.
there's
Is
no.
that what this movie's about? Your struggle to accept yourself in this? Oh God, what is this movie?
God, how many times have I get to see this film? What other film did you see like this? Rain Man.
I could see Dan over here like, Aggro, do you know the difference between gay people and retarded people? Do what now?
Wow. We're going to get comments over that. Now, moving on to the news roundup. Silicon Knights, who I've misspelled here, the developers of Eternal Darkness and 2 Human, laid off dozens of employees because a greenlit project was canceled at the very last second. They hope the project will get greenlit again and they'll hire everyone back. They haven't said who the publisher is, but they said at the very last moment a high-up decision was made in the publisher to cancel the game. Like, they already hired everyone. They already got funding.
Huh.
But at the very last second, they're like, no. Which, I mean, makes sense when you make X-Men Destiny
Yeah,
and
I
2 Human.
was going to say, I mean, maybe they saw what X-Men Destiny turned out like.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, these guys still aren't doing anything.
Hey, Aggro, do you know how X-Men Destiny turned out?
Was I welcomed to die?
No.
No?
It was worse than that. It was more like X-Chicken.
Damn.
It was...
Could in this game anything move the blob?
No, nothing can move the blob.
Oh.
I don't know. You might have moved the blob.
Yeah.
Wendigo!
No, there's no N. Wendigo! No, it's Wendigo. Wendigo!
Maybe Wendigo ate your baby.
But yeah, so they're hoping to hire everyone back as soon as they get funding again. They haven't really said what the project was, who it was for, or whatever. But yeah.
Like, I'm trying not to laugh because, you know, like, oh, all these people lost their jobs over nothing. That sucks.
It was about...
But it happened to Silicon Knights, so it's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. I think it was about 69 people lost their jobs. They went from 94 to about 25 people.
That's an insane amount.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's...
It's
like
pretty early on in the project because, you know, staff swells over time.
Right.
Near the end especially. What were you going to say?
Yeah, that'd be a lot of people I just have on staff typically at Silicon Knights.
Yeah.
So that has to be all.
They had to let them go.
Right.
Which is weird. They've been trying to get a comment from Dyack. I'm looking here to try to find his first name, but
He just kept yelling something about the camera system. Yeah, I don't know.
We kept asking about employees, and he talked about some camera. But yeah, he's not saying anything, which is weird because I think his first name Dennis Dyack is usually pretty outspoken about everything, especially camera systems.
Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Pretty much. He's another Molyneux camera system. Moving on, though. The Giant Bomb has an article about, which they've titled, A Gem of a Jam. Capcom's latest Street Fighter Cross Tekken announcement draws predictable ire. Pretty much most of the articles about how Capcom seems to, at every turn, piss off fans.
Right.
This focuses on the new gem system for Street Fighter Cross Tekken. For those who aren't familiar, there are many gems in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which you can equip your character with when you go into battle. Once you fulfill a certain requirement of the gem, you get a certain bonus, which is specific to each gem. For example, in this video, they show off if you land 5 normal hits, like a fierce punch, medium punch, whatever, just a normal punch or kick.
Right.
If you land 5 of those, you get a certain attack bonus added onto all of your attacks, and then that gem is active for a certain amount of time. So if you can fulfill the requirements of multiple of these, you can stack them higher and higher until you have like plus 30% attack. Maybe 40.
I thought I was angry before you explained what this system was.
I know.
Yeah.
And you learned how wrong you were. Now, here's where things really get...
There are thousands of these gems, as I hear. That's the worst part.
No, that isn't. The
Really?
worst part...
There's something worse?
They're far worse.
No, hang on. Let's ponder for a second. There are thousands of these?
Let's dwell on that for a bit. I read hundreds, but there could be more.
Okay, hundreds. Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, still, that's
a lot. Yeah.
Spreadsheets in my video game? I'm sorry, in my fighting game.
Which is different.
It's more likely than you think, apparently.
Okay, so are you ready? We're dwelling in that domain. How does it get worse?
DLC? Well, it does
Pre-orders.
have that. Oh, yeah, pre-order and collector's editions.
Depending on where you pre-order it and whether or not you get the collector's edition, you get different bonus gems with your game. And they are DLC.
Okay, you remember that theory you had a while ago that several people are trying consciously to end Capcom from the inside?
Yeah.
I think those people are still there.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was Inafune. He's gone, and this is still happening.
He's left some kind of Splinter Cell
This is
group.
insane, because when I first heard about this, it was actually Ono talking about how amazing it was, and he thought that they would somehow make it more appealing to a broader audience, new players. I just like,
what?
Why would you think that?
Ask Blizzards. Noobs do not like spreadsheets.
No,
something with this is way too complex for anyone to be like, I can figure out what I'm selecting here.
Like, at the bare minimum, you got to look at, you have given them an extra requirement to fulfill.
Right.
Like, before, they were just worried about winning. Now they have to ponder, can I pull off this many moves to get more power to win? Then on top of that, you're worrying them about customization. You're worrying them with all sorts of different layers of complication. You want new people to enjoy your game, make it simpler.
And then that'll screw up with the new players playing anyone who's slightly more advanced and knows, I can set up my gems like this, and thus I auto-win.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't just, stupid. This is worryingly unnecessary.
And incompetent.
Like,
they are aiming for a goal and doing the exact opposite.
It's gotten to the point where, anytime a company makes a weird decision, it's surprise and anger and shock and dismay, and I'm starting to become actually worried about Capcom. Like that kid at school no one likes, but he stopped showing up. And you look in his desk, and he's got all these, ballpoint pen drawings of black trees bleeding, and you're like, oh shit, I don't think this guy's coming back.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing. It's like Capcom may just implode, and then all their IPs are going to be sold off to other people. But let's not dwell too much on Capcom.
Funimation buys them.
because they're going to be coming back later in this roundtable, or this news roundup. So let's move on to the next piece of news. Minecraft sells 400 million copies. Notch is now so rich we have to address him as Super King Big Nuts.
Tell me he said that.
No. No, he didn't. But according to the statistic page on the Minecraft site, it has sold slightly over 4 million copies now. Which, when you think about that, all went directly to Notch, technically, because that wasn't made by his company. He just made his company with the money he got from this game. Holy fuck, that man is rich.
Yeah.
He's goddamn loaded.
So, how's that lawsuit going?
It really doesn't matter so much. That has to do with the company. Worst case scenario, the entire company somehow goes down or they change the name. Notch is still rich. In fact, highly related, I don't believe I put it up there because it's not much of a news article, and it kind of pissed me off that they posted it as such. Notch took a private jet to an indie games con.
Baller.
Wow.
Yeah. Irony strikes.
Like, no, guys, I'm an indie developer. I just got rich doing it.
Good luck. Moving on to the next bit of news. Game Informer has a first look at the next Alan Wake. And by first look, I mean a screenshot. There is literally a paragraph. No, I wouldn't qualify that as a paragraph. There are 3 whole sentences of text and a screenshot. And that is what they call their first look.
Well, I guess it's true.
I'm looking at it.
That is the first thing I've seen of it.
That's the first thing I've seen of it. It's going to be a downloadable game for those who don't know, and is going to be shown off more fully at the Video Game Awards. along with other things.
So I didn't play a lot of Alan Wake.
Right?
But this screenshot, spoiler warning,
Right.
is of a guy standing in the middle of a road with a flashlight and a nail gun.
Uh-huh.
Now that sounds like a Friday night to me.
That's where you go on Fridays?
What, you can't hear that from in here?
No.
Yeah.
Dude, Battlefield, headphones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we go rivet tagging.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's fun and really the only thing that makes me feel alive anymore.
That's sickening. When's Skyrim coming out?
Not damn soon enough.
Apparently, because there's another Friday between now and
No, it is Friday.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
He's safe.
Okay. But, yeah, downloadable game next Alan Wake.
I don't think any of us played this game, the first one.
I didn't play a whole lot of it. I didn't get to play much of it. In any case, moving on. Today in Capcom doing upsetting things, Resident Evil Revelations, a 3DS game, is $50.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
It is $50 goddamn dollars.
I hope that does not sell a single copy and they learn.
Apparently, 4 gigabytes of storage on a cartridge means you'll be shelling out more at retail for Capcom's upcoming 3DS adventure.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said that it's 4 gigabytes of space and it's a complete Resident Evil thing or experience.
Here's the quote. A statement sent over to Kotaku said, Resident Evil Revelations is an all-new Resident Evil title with over 20 hours of gameplay and cutscenes beautifully rendered in fear-inducing 3D. Quote, a true console experience on a handheld device, Resident Evil Revelations is an epic title that offers both a single-player campaign for that classic survival horror gaming experience and an additional raid mode that can be played cooperatively or single-player. To handle all of that data, Resident Evil Revelations requires a 4 gigabyte cartridge, resulting in a higher price point.
That's retarded. Honestly.
Yeah, okay, you gotta look at this multiple ways. That's $50, so it's more than your average game.
Right.
On top of that, that is the only, like, a number of people who bought the 3DS, you know, all those bastards out there, they bought it, some of them bought it for this game.
Right.
Yeah. You know how angry they're gonna be? It's like, dude, we already had to buy the system for it. That is enough. On top of this, that game is compatible and probably a hell of a lot better with the Circle Pad Pro.
Which, how much is that?
I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to be when it comes to the States, but I think in Japan it was about $13 or $15. So that's $63 to $65, maybe more in the States, for a fully functional but portable on a small screen Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's insane.
Japan is stunning with their inability to make modern gen games at anywhere near a decent pace.
Yeah, I keep thinking like next week we're gonna get another article. It's like he's like, whoa, what? No, I'm talking about Japan. We can't do that shit in the States.
Yeah,
but this is for Japan.
Yeah,
or
this
America.
is for the States.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part of this.
So
it's like they don't get it.
They don't understand at all.
I have a new theory about Capcom.
Yeah, right.
Okay, you know Chinese fire drill, right?
Right.
I think they did that with their staff.
Oh,
Everyone left the building
like
and ran
Prince-
back inside and sat at a different desk.
Who's running it?
I don't know.
Huh.
But it's just so aggravating.
Now,
I mean,
what's even funnier than this to me is Vita's coming out soon.
right?
This game's not coming out before the Vita. I don't think
it might be. It's like the same month, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so it might be coming out at the same time as the Vita.
Right.
Maybe.
Thereabout.
I have no doubt in my mind this is coming to the Vita eventually. None. There's not a single doubt in my mind that this will make it to the Vita. Because
They are
they're
Capcom.
Capcom.
Yeah.
All of the Vita memory cards are capable of 4 gigs. And they cost, from what we've seen, somewhere approximate of that price, and clearly have much better production values. Like, they are way high-end compared to anything that's running on a 3DS.
How big was the memory stick that they made for Sands of Destruction on the DS? I'm pretty
4.
sure it was 4 gigs.
Yeah, it was
and
4 gigs.
That wasn't a higher price.
Oh, they're lying. This is them lying.
Yeah, obviously.
But guys, seriously.
Right. Yeah.
Horror-inspiring 3D graphics.
Yeah. Fear-inducing.
Fear-inducing. Oh, I'm sorry.
rendered in
fear-inducing 3D. It's a true console experience.
True.
On a handheld.
True.
That sentence doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't fucking mean anything.
Especially when the portable we're talking about doesn't even have 2 fucking analog sticks, so that's not
but it
much.
does now, Dan.
It does $15 from now.
The funny thing, I find the best part of this is Resident Evil, this gen, worked fine on one analog stick.
Yeah.
And yet, they have made it not for the sake of putting in the extra analog stick controller attachment.
Well, how do you mean? Like, you mean Resident Evil 4 worked fine on a single analog stick? Or
Right, Resident Evil 4 and 5.
5 used the right analog stick to turn.
Did it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, because left just controls movement and then right turns you. Mm-hmm. You forgot?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Think you that Bob would forget such a thing?
Well, whatever. 4 and 5 felt almost the same, even. So 4 was fine.
Yeah, I mean, 4 was fine, and I'm sure that's how a single analog stick will work. I'm not sure why you would want or need a second analog stick.
If they did what they did with Mercenaries, you can now move in first-person mode. I think that's what they did. And you go to first-person mode when you aim instead of the over-your-shoulder, which worked better for Resident Evil.
Right. Hopefully that's not what they're doing here.
I'm pretty sure I saw a video that's what happens.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Well, I mean, with 2 analog sticks, you got to think, if you can control,
the vertical and the horizontal.
The vertical and the horizontal, then you can better evade enemies, theoretically.
Theoretically, yes, but that's kind of not the point of Resident Evil.
That's not the point of a horror game. Yeah. Enabling the player, empowering them is not the point of a horror game. I also have to wonder if they're thoroughly going to test the game for quality assurance with both control sets to make sure that it is balanced for both. But, enough conjecture. I'm moving on. OneUp.com has a first impression of the Back to Karkin not map pack from Battlefield 3. I say not map pack because according to Battlefield, according to DICE and EA, Battlefield doesn't do map packs, and it doesn't do expansion packs. So I'm not sure what this...
It's even called the Back to Karkin expansion pack on the website.
Yeah, so I guess it is an expansion pack, and this is just this guy, he wanted to call it a map pack, and then EA's PR was like, no, it's an expansion pack for free, because it has maps and other stuff. It's adding trophies, achievements, vehicles, and guns.
But the vehicles are part of the maps in Battlefield.
I know.
And what guns is it supposedly adding?
I forget which vehicle.
Oh shit, a VTOL?
There are 10 new weapons. Yeah, a VTOL.
Nice.
F-35B.
5 new dog tags?
5 new dog tags! Which, I'm cool with getting more dog tags.
Dog tags are nice.
Yeah, they are. Honestly, I like their implementation in Battlefield. Normally I find that sort of thing obnoxious, but it's always hilarious when I get stabbed in the throat to be like, that guy, he took my dog tag. That bastard. That rat bastard. In any case, they got to try it out. Basically, what it boils down to is they tried it on PS3, so I didn't read this article.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Because they tried those maps with 24 players instead of 64, which makes a drastic difference. But, yeah. So they tried it out. Go check out that article to enjoy whatever information you can elicit from them, because there are people who are buying this on console.
Yeah, a good number here.
Yeah, I know.
Which, I mean, hey.
No.
It might.
I would never buy. Case in point, I have never bought a Battlefield on console, and I never will.
Didn't you buy 1943?
Well, I suppose that counts. Yeah, okay. But it was cheap. It was like $15 for the Battlefield. Actually, was it 10?
I think it was 15. I think you're right.
It was only 4 maps. But yeah, it was only 15, and we split it so that way we could do a LAN. Because that was the whole reason. We were like, we're going to do a LAN because it's multiplayer only. Let's just check it out and see. And then it was like, oh, we can't sign in enough people on the same IP for this to work. But yeah, no, I've never bought Bad Company. Didn't buy Bad Company 2. Wasn't interested in 2. Was interested in 2142. Never got to try that.
Wasn't on console anyway.
Yeah, I know it wasn't on console.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I really haven't been interested in anything since 1942, and I'm not interested in the console versions of the 3. They're just like, ugh. But yeah, so check that out over at oneup.com. Moving on, the Magic Box has more images of Lollipop Chainsaw, which has Lollipop killing people with a chainsaw. I presume that's her name.
I was about to say, I don't think that's her name.
Well, let's call her that.
What was it?
I didn't catch her name.
Ashley or something. It's some generic English-sounding name.
Yeah, there you go. It's American. But yeah, creepy fish hat wearing guy with the knives and crap. These pictures are weird. I just included this because these pictures are weird.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's all there is to that. OneUp.com has an interesting editorial about or called "Saving the System," where failed consoles went wrong instead of right. It sort of brings up the notable failures of video gaming history and how they could have corrected their problems to not completely bomb. Which, it's pretty interesting. The Virtual Boy showcase there, but it's really the last one and the least interesting, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can salvage that.
They could have, as this brings up, if they didn't try to make it seem like a successor to the Game Boy or some majorly huge deal. If they didn't produce anywhere near as many and they weren't marketing the ever-loving shit out of it.
Oh, I thought this was to save it after it started going wrong and after they released it.
No, like how they could have done it.
You can't damage control the Virtual Boy.
Okay, really, I was like, no.
You have to Back to the Future that bitch.
No. Don't make it! But, yeah. So
Shit, we get some of that for Sega. Like, what is this? Our list of upcoming consoles. Okay, we're going to cut this in half.
They still would have been fucked.
Yeah.
Cut it in half because they had the Neptune, the Sega Saturn, and 2 Dreamcasts.
Ugh.
So you still have the Sega Saturn and a Dreamcast there if you're doing that.
2 Dreamcasts?
Yeah.
What?
I'm
this is very important to the conversation you and I had yesterday. Sega didn't die because the Dreamcast was bad. Sega died because Sega was bad. Right. Their management was shit. They developed the Sega Neptune, which was a Sega Genesis combined with a Sega CD, if I remember correctly. Oh, wait, no. No, wait, that is it. And then there was also the Uranus or something, which was going to be, and these are all project names. Right. It was going to be a Genesis combined with a Saturn, I believe.
What?
Then they did 2 Dreamcasts. They were just 2 completely different development teams making their own, versions of the Dreamcast.
What the heck were they thinking?
After the success of the Genesis, they went fucking bonkers.
Apparently.
Yeah, no fucking joke.
Yeah, it did just, like, most companies have this slow decay of brain matter as you see them go, like, sort of rich grandfather eccentric for a while before they become insane. Capcom, you drunken shitbag. Yeah, Sega just, like, flipped a switch. Like, today I will be insane, he said, loading his double-barrel elephant gun and adjusting his stocking cap.
Pretty much. But, I would like to note nothing from Sega comes up in this.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What do they even talk about then?
Well, there are a lot of consoles, like the TurboGrafx 16.
All right.
Things like that. But, yeah, you'll have to go over to oneup.com to check that out. It's a pretty interesting editorial, which I consider high praise for me because most editorials piss me off on concept alone. Because they're usually asinine bullshit.
I find it hilarious, like, why they wouldn't include any Sega things. All right, they were too insane at all levels to make it work.
Exactly. Sega CD, how it could work. Nope. It couldn't. By the way, if I screwed up my code names there on Neptune and Uranus, I apologize. It's been a while since I did that research. So, moving on to absolutely hilarious news.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna read my blurb here and then cut over so they can see the image. In the middle of a PlayStation Vita conference in Taiwan on the 28th, Rainy Yang, a celebrity who was on stage showing off the Vita, told the crowd that her favorite PlayStation game was Super Mario Bros. When it became obvious from the crowd's reaction that she done fucked up, she smiled and held the Vita upside down. You can go over to themagicbox.com to check out the hilarious as fuck, awkward as hell image.
Okay, I've got a couple of things to say about this. One, ever since I was 10 and a paper towel rack broke under the weight of a roll of paper towels, I decided that nothing good comes from Taiwan. Two, I'm looking at this picture, and from some of the things I have seen that come from Taiwan, that's probably a dude.
I love this image.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And to help the Iraq, maybe she is just, maybe she's not a retard. Maybe she has a hacked PSP and she's playing
Super Mario Bros. On it, and she doesn't even know. That article, that did my heart good. That did my soul good. I needed that.
I'm still looking at her jawline. I'm going to go 50-50 on this one.
Okay, moving on.
I've got some pictures to show you.
No! Never! Moving on to the next thing. You can get your hands on the PlayStation Vita early with the First Edition Bundle. The First Edition Bundle will be pre-sold at select retail locations, according to the PlayStation blog. You can pre-order it, and what it is a little bundle that is the PlayStation Vita 3G model, a limited edition case, a 4 GB PlayStation Vita memory card, and little deviants. And it'll retail for $350 or $349.99 MSRP.
That actually, now that I hear it right again, I have to think, how many people, since you know how this industry works, they ship this up there a good bit early, so they'll probably be getting both this model and the one that they shouldn't sell around the same time. I wonder how many retailers are going to be like, hey, Vita's out. I mean, they said this one says we can sell it today.
Yeah, we should call around and go around.
We should try and game that. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Because Florida was the fuck-up state that actually ended up selling shitloads of Call of Duty early. It's like, in Florida, oh, shit. I hate when we come up in news.
Was it gas stations when the last...
Halo? I think it was Halo.
Was it Halo or was it Gears?
Yeah, one of those two sold a game early at, what was it, 7-Elevens?
Yeah.
I think it was Halo. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Because they got some major Halo interactions going on at 7-Eleven.
The thing is, no one went to 7-Eleven to buy a video game.
Right.
They went in there for a Slurpee and did a double cake down one aisle of what the fuck is that?
Yeah. That is a great experience, no doubt. I got a note. We should focus on our opinions. Help our fan base know what our opinion is on the early edition bundle. Aggro.
It's gay.
I said aggro.
So I'll take over here, Bob.
Okay.
It's gay. This really feels like a ploy to sell 3G models.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really wanted a 3G model of this.
Which was weird because you were telling me GameStop. You heard that GameStop, when you pre-ordered it before the two models
it
were
automatically shoves you into the 3G when it goes on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Aggro, did you pre-order your Vita yet?
No.
Oh, okay. You get in Vita much? Never
well,
mind. That's redundant. I already asked you that question. How many reservations do you have at your game store, Bob?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
No.
Check next time you work tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Check that. Just out of curiosity.
All right. I'll try to remember.
Yeah. I should change the poll of the site. Are you getting the Vita?
Yes, and
yes,
why not?
I pre-ordered. No, I didn't. No, and why not? Fill in the blank. There is no blank. There's no excuse.
Then maybe go buy a Vita.
Clearly. For me personally, I never used 3G. So throwing that out, you're basically paying $100 for a 4 GB memory card, a limited edition case, which limited edition, woo.
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah, we're not Japanese.
Little deviants. I'm cool with little deviants. The 4 GB memory card is enough space for me to fit Third Birthday, Dracula X Chronicles, and some saves on it, and that's it. So that really doesn't do me a whole lot of good. I'm gonna have to get the 32 GB memory card. So I might as well just get one of those, lose a lot of money on getting one of those, and yeah, because I don't want to pay $100 for something that's like, here's this crappy thing that I won't like as much, and it's just there in the little deviants. Because little deviants, I'm okay with as a game. Like, its entire design is take advantage of every feature on the Vita. If you've seen the videos, they do altered reality shooter, first person. So you take the Vita around and shoot at these aliens that are coming up. It does the tilting to roll around a ball, and you tap the back of the screen to shoot up the terrain. It takes advantage of all these different features on the Vita, and the microphone thing too. I hate that, but the rest of that, that is awesome. I want something that does that. I like those games that distill every feature of a console. They always come out at the beginning of each console generation.
It stops. Except on the Wii, which they can't sell anything else.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why it stops is because it's easy to market as a concept at the beginning.
Right.
Like, check out this game. It does all this cool next-gen stuff. But halfway through the gen, it's like, here's this game that completely lacks identity and is fun? Yeah, I mean, that's hard to market anywhere past the first year. But in any case, yeah, so Canada gets a much better bundle. They get a Wi-Fi only model, the 4 GB memory card, and little DVNs for $300.
Maybe they had more pre-orders in Canada for the 4G model, so they needed to push out the Wi-Fi
for
models.
The what model?
The 3G model. They
Yeah.
made and invented this 4G model.
I'm kind of pissed that the Vita's coming out with 3G. Like, we're rolling out 4G across all these networks right now. Like, we're heading into that.
Right.
We should have a portable that's future-oriented. Like, if that's the idea.
That'll be the slim model Vita next year after that. I don't know.
It usually takes like 2 to 3 for Sony. Normally 3.
Of all the things I thought we'd have to road trip to Canada to buy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Seriously.
I'm okay with taking a road trip to buy a Vita a week early. Oh, in case we didn't mention that, you get it a week early.
It'd take us about a week to get up there and back.
Canada's pretty far away.
We take turns driving.
Yeah, no, we're not. I'm like duct taping a Vita to that fucking steering wheel. Like, where
dying.
are we? Indiana? Nobody's in this state. Just
Wow. But yeah, I wish Sony got their shit together, because it's clear that nobody really wants the 3G model. At least the majority of people don't want the 3G model. At very least, in GigaBoots experience, the majority of the people don't want the 3G model.
So if you do want the 3G model, please tell us. Explain this to us.
Yeah, explain this to us, because
Maybe
I
you
want to know.
have 3G network on that network, and you're just like, I might as well.
It would still cost more money. It
Would
would
it?
cost as much money for somebody who already has a 3G contract to get this as it would us.
Yeah, it just seems to me like if you want
It's a data plan for an
Jesus.
individual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you want 3G on the Vita, like if you're that kind of person, I would assume you already have a phone that does everything you'd want this to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
unless you have some horribly unoptimized web browser, there's nothing it can really do that your phone can't.
Yeah, where it doesn't play games online in 3G mode. It's like, what is the point?
Yeah, I mean, if it had 4G, at least it could do that.
I mean, like the near thing's pretty sweet, but
Yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like it to sync my trophies and be able to download stuff from anywhere, like games, but apparently, the bit rate's going to be...
Yeah.
And if what I'm hearing about Wi-Fi is true,
Yeah.
now the new format, what?
Yeah, 802.11n.
No, like 802.22.
Oh. Well, this wouldn't support that anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, if they made it 4G, I would understand wanting to get it. But they didn't. So they done fucked up. Like a Taiwanese chick.
Still say it was a dude.
In any case, that's the news roundup from GigaBoots.com. Stick around for the roundtable. Cue transitional music. Hey, and welcome back. So I looked it up since I had mouthed off some stupid shit, and I got that Sega codename thing all sorts of wrong. It has apparently been quite a while since I looked that up, and since there was no applicable use for that knowledge, it just sort of went fleetingly out of my brain, leaving some sort of remnant behind in its horribly, horribly decayed form as it is today. So, in any case, I'm not even going to correct it, because their project naming scheme is so fucked up.
It's like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, it is. As far as I can tell, there was no Uranus. There was a Jupiter and a Mars, and those were code names for the 32X and
yeah,
Saturn,
Sega was always
Reverse.
an inner senshi strict kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't do none of that Super S shit.
They wanted to make a Sega Pluto, but it got retconned.
I heard they had plans for the Sega Stars, but they would never have brought that shit to the States.
I'm positive there was a Pluto. Sadly, there was something they were making. They give all these stupid code names, and for some reason, Saturn was the first one to come to the market with it.
Huh?
And thank God the last one.
Well, I mean, Sega Saturn actually sounds kind of nifty because
it does.
Double S.
Yeah, and nothing else would have.
No, all of that would have sounded horrible.
I'd have played the Sailor Neptune.
You play the Sega Neptune?
Yeah.
The Sega Mars?
Probably not the Mars.
Sega Jupiter?
Maybe.
I wouldn't. That's dumb.
Maybe if it was like the biggest console anyone ever made, like the Jupiter, it's the size of an entire hi-fi system.
Only if it was almost completely hollow, like it wasn't very dense inside.
You could like sit inside of it like a Dino Crisis booth.
Yeah, it's really, really light, actually. Yeah, mostly made of styrofoam,
right?
And gases.
People mostly assume it's the box it came in.
But you can't get it out of that box.
Because the box is it.
It is bolted to the styrofoam with 3/4 inch bolts.
Oh man, this roundtable already rocks. But yeah, the actual topic for the roundtable is which old video game franchise aged the best.
There are a lot here.
Like, we can just sort of say which one aged really well and work from there to discuss the others. Zelda aged really well. And you know that's true when games that are AAA titles for consoles that are far superior to the Wii, e.g. anything, are trying to make Zelda knockoffs still, like Darksiders.
Right.
Yeah.
And they can't do it.
And they make something approximate.
Yeah, Zelda was very fortunate to be able to make the transition to 3D elegantly
and epically.
Yeah,
quite literally.
That game set a fucking gold standard.
Yeah, it did. So Zelda, like in my opinion, like major Zelda installments, there wasn't a bad one.
Yeah, I don't think that they had. I can't think of any bad Zelda.
That's just... Once you go portable, maybe, but even so, they're still really solid. I haven't played the 2DS ones; they're lauded, but
the first DS one was great.
Yeah,
I don't know too much about the second one. I got kind of stuck when my microphone didn't work for the flute. So I was done with it then.
Sucks to be you, nerd.
Sucks to be you, nerd. But yeah, it's really solid. Castlevania clearly hasn't aged as well because they keep starving it budget-wise, and I think that's an important factor in all of this. How well a series has aged, because if you look at which series aged the best, it really has a lot to do with who has the budget, regardless of market,
right,
to throw at it. Which is weird because when you look at it, Nintendo sells a lot of copies of their own games because they throw a lot of money into making sure they're really polished, and
they own those icons that people know that they can go to for a game that's going to be good.
Maybe, but I think Uncharted is clearly the absolutely huge pinnacle of a game it is this gen because of quality.
Oh, yeah.
So the irony here is that most video game companies out there making AAA titles don't put enough time into making every facet of the game polished because they're rushing to get it out. Whereas if they just spent enough time to make sure each and every facet of each game was polished,
right, but
it would become that sort of legendary status eventually.
Then they get into the whole thing of it takes more time to do that, obviously. Like, Nintendo can sit on something and be like, we're going to work on this for 5 years.
Well, it's not like Nintendo's Magic. That costs them money, too.
Oh, yeah, it costs them money, but they're a console holder, so they're able to do that. Lots of these other publishers aren't like that.
Tecmo did that with Ninja Gaiden, and clearly that paid off with Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That was another one that just aged really well.
Like gold. Gold, bitch.
I don't think gold that line for aging well, but okay.
No. Gold just doesn't corrupt, doesn't rust.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, clearly there's a lot to be gained from games that game companies that spend a really long time making each installment. And that is what happened with Castlevania. There was an installment every year. And the weird thing is they always do it for the wrong reason. They do it for, like, we won't get as many sales if we don't remain relevant. And it's like, guys, you would remain relevant if you made a strong image for yourself by making an absolutely really polished product.
Right.
Which, that's kind of my problem with the later Halo games. That ODST was like supposed to be a $30 game, and then it was a full $60 game, and then Reach wasn't the massive improvement over 3 that I desired. It was different.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with difference. It's just I hate when people shy away from making massive radical improvements to their game and instead make something sort of different.
Yeah, right. To diverge rather than
improve.
Right.
Yeah, which is why you and I understand Dynasty Warriors and why it does what it does. You know, the whole it's similar, and most American reviewers sort of fucking loathe it
right
at this point, because it's about improving the systems, and occasionally they'll alter something to a point where we'll be like, Ranboo system, what the
yeah,
and then they'll be like, I'm sorry,
how many years was that between 6 and 7? That was like that was a long time.
Yeah,
that was obviously they were working
3
on that.
3 years, maybe more.
Yeah.
And
I mean, sure, they did release those like off titles, like the anime ones.
I mean, if you think about it, really, the goal of a publisher should be to make a game. Like, let's go with Dynasty Wars, which is going to be hilarious for everyone who hates Dynasty Wars who's listening to this. You make a main installment, and in between that and the next major installment, you work on smaller games or shoot-off games. Like Mario does it too.
Yeah,
Mario games, and then there are the sort of shoot-off Mario games. Like, not only New Super Mario Bros., which is clearly not an evolution of Mario, it's a throwback. And then stuff like the sports games.
Right, sports games, party
games. Stuff like that, where...
I forgot about Strikers. And how it was actually really fucking cool.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't that amazing?
What was up with that?
It was like, you made a good Mario What? Well, see, that's another thing. Nintendo has their eye on the entire world, share-wise. They're not looking at just Japan or just America, usually. They're looking at, okay, soccer's popular worldwide. Football's popular in the States, but football is popular everywhere else. It's popular everywhere else. So let's put a lot of money into making a solid soccer game.
Yeah, we should play that again.
Yeah, we should. We really should. Doesn't Steve own that? We should borrow that from Steve. Oh, wait, Steve is a Jew. He will never lend things to anyone.
Let's steal that from Steve and then give it back later.
Okay.
Act like nothing happened. Dabs. Okay.
But yeah, back to the topic and less the factors in play. We have Zelda. Mario didn't age as well as Zelda, in my opinion.
It still aged really well, I think.
Oh, like, definitely. In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, it's one of the few things that moved from 2D to 3D and was good.
Yeah, because the nature of the gameplay changed.
Yeah, they knew that they had to evolve it in some way that made it interesting.
Yeah,
and happened to not fuck it up.
Yeah, and what's interesting here is that it changed the gameplay from less action, sort of gameplay of jump on this thing to kill and progress through the level, getting items and coins and collectibles. It became more exploration-y. Like, here's this set piece. Go and find this.
Yeah, right. Which is what I loved about 64 games.
This is the interesting thing, in my opinion. 2 generations later, it starts heading back towards more of the scripted, like, linear stuff. It's less exploration-based because when you select each star in Galaxy 1, like, I haven't played enough of 2 to know how this does it, but when you select a star in Galaxy 1, a lot of the times, that'll be the only star you can fucking get.
Right.
So it's not exploration-ish.
It's more directed, right?
Yeah, so that's interesting that they were finally able to bring it back to where it came from, come full circle, and make it more action-y. I say action-y, not an action game per se, but, it's less about exploration, more about, here's your goal. You pretty much
explore to get to it, I guess?
You only have, like, one way to get to it, really. And it looks like Super Mario Land 3D is doing that too.
Yeah, it looks basically side-scrolling in its execution, just with a little depth to play around with. Which, I mean, I need to get my hands on that, because that looks kind of cool.
Yeah, Galaxy is a superb game, and I like it a lot, but I really like 64's sense of exploration. And since that's not in Super Mario Land 3D, I'm not as interested.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I haven't played Galaxy 2, because I played some Galaxy 2, and it was like Galaxy in that it was...
Yeah, Galaxy 2 is... They do other things to make it more exploration-based, like all the extra stars you can find that are just for after you get everything else. These things are going to be hidden.
Oh, okay, so you plow through everything, and then you can...
Yeah, then they're like stars that you can see them sitting in the level, and you're like, how could I ever possibly get there?
And
it's
then
like,
you gotta rack your mind
God.
thinking about that. So Mario aged really, really well, and it's because of that strategy of spending each time.
Well, I guess like the main games. I was thinking like Mario aging. There's so much fucking Mario. It's like a shotgun thing. We made 800 Mario games. Enough of them will be gone.
Yeah,
but yeah, I guess if we do talk about like the main big budget Mario games.
Because Galaxy, New Super Mario Bros. Maybe that's why Galaxy sold so much worse than New Super Mario Bros. Because the word bros, lol, bros are what sells games.
Totally.
Because a lot of people didn't know Galaxy was a legitimate game. Because, well, I mean, seriously, that is a major problem with Galaxy. People don't know that's a normal game because Super Mario Party isn't a normal game, and Super Mario like Tennis or any other thing. You throw in an extra word that doesn't make it clear that it's a Mario Bros. Game, and people are kind of like...
Mario is conducive to doing that.
Like, I had a conversation with a man once who had no idea that was a normal... It was a Mario game.
Cooking Super Mario.
Super Mario buttfuck.
Yeah, I mean, they have been doing it a lot, like Sunshine. I mean, I guess that's another subtitle you would probably throw you off.
Yeah. And Super Mario Sunshine... I hate Sunshine. I really do. I tried to give it a second chance, and I'm like, this is like 64, but worse. And that's all I could really... It had a gay aesthetic to it. Like, Galaxy's aesthetic was badass. It's outer fucking space. They're tiny planetoids. This shit's cool. You have a water pump, and you clean things.
Yeah, that...
One of these is
I can't really
defend
cool.
Super Mario 64 2, The Reckoning.
I can't really defend.
You have 3 days to save the Mushroom Kingdom before the moon plows into it.
Nintendo, you feeling okay about the moon?
No.
Is everything going okay?
We are fucking terrified over here. We've done so much opium.
So, I've got a series I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But technical question, I guess. Are we counting Renegade Ops as a sequel to Jackal?
Ooh, are we? Because Ultra Games technically owns the copyright on Jackal. I'm not
Spiritual
sure.
Successor? Does that count? I don't.
No, because this is more of an interesting study of how companies deal with IPs properly.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. Damn it, because I just told you.
I guess. When was the first Ninja Gaiden?
NES.
NES.
Yeah.
So that's held up pretty well.
Yeah, it died for a generation.
It did.
It had 2 generations.
I can't remember what it. I don't think Igaki had any involvement in the original.
No, he didn't at all.
So he implemented the character in his fighting game, and then he was like, "Oh well, I'm going to revive this, I guess."
Yeah, and then he spent a good 4 years doing it. And the surprising thing is, it was, as I understand, closer to Prince of Persia in one of its earlier inceptions.
Yeah, I think I read that.
Yeah, so that is really cool that eventually it evolved from Prince of Persia into sort of a really tight, definitive action game.
Right, and it still retaining some of that elements of that's probably one of the best mixtures of action game and platformer game I've ever played. I mean,
I would...
Devil May Cry nixes platforming for the sake of action being really good.
But really, I would say, for the sake, it is the sole function of the action elements.
Right.
On its own, it's absolutely grating. Platforming in a Devil May Cry game. I always see it as a hassle more than, I'm going to go jump over here. No, it's like, God, fucking get up there, Dante.
Get up there, Dante.
Get up there,
I'm
Dante.
not this shit.
God damn it, there's a blue thing.
Blue thing, Dante.
Now,
Dante. Voice control.
Something that aged as well as Mario, I think, and because it implements much of the same strategy as Pokemon. They have the major installments, and then they have the lesser installments to sort of cash in on the IP. The only bad game, there's a bad Mario game, Sunshine, and there are a couple other Mario games that are like, and then there are the solid games. Like the majority of them are solid, and I would say the same is the case for Pokemon. Because with Pokemon, you have like 3rd gen, which is the and the rest of them are solid installments, each making legitimate improvement over the last, having better production values and more refined processes for making assets.
Significantly, with the last 2, they actually added some things to the gameplay, which they haven't done much of since 2nd gen.
Yeah,
like all the new battle modes. It is the best human versus human versus mode. Ever. Like, the Wonder Launcher is the best thing they've done in years.
Yeah, I haven't had enough time to mess with that. Have you, Bob?
No.
Okay, they added some really cool systems from what Aggro was saying, involving items, how those are used. You get a certain point per amount of points per turn.
Yeah, like turns go by and points start adding up in the Wonder Launcher. And every item, like, you both have the same list of items. It's not your items anymore. You buy from a shop list. And as turns progress, you get more points to spend on items. So, like, you go enough turns and you can fucking use a full heal. And that'll take your points.
Yeah. So it's a really, really interesting balance mechanism. Yeah. Which is good, because I really abhor the ability to win with status effect stacking Pokemon. Because that ain't cool. But yeah, I would say Pokemon aged as well, if not slightly better than Mario, because I can only think of one off title for that, and that was the 3rd gen titles. And that,
but really, I mean, not Mega Man. Mario is kind of in the same boat, though. I think. Well, I mean, Sunshine's really the only full-on Mario title they can say was.
Well, let's think. We're not counting portable titles, right?
Right. No.
So we're not counting Land 1, 2, or 3. So we got Mario 1, 2, 3.
I guess we count Lost Levels. That was kind of a, what are you doing?
Yeah, so Mario 2.
Yeah.
Not whatever, Doki Doki, who's
like Doki Doki Panic, I think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the name. So yeah, both Lost Levels and Doki Doki Panic are fucking weird installments.
Yeah.
Like, Zelda 2, to me, feels more like Zelda than Doki Doki Panic Mario 2 felt like Mario. It was just such a weird installment, and it had... I mean, I thought it was fucking cool at the time. Because huge changes like that back then, like, I don't know. It's so hard to describe. Like, how do I put this? There's the whole Super Mario World is considered worse than 3 thing. Like, a lot of people do not like Super Mario World as much as 3 and think it's an inferior game. What are your opinions on this?
I personally, like, I'm kind of in that boat, but at the same time, I freaking love Mario World, or Super Mario World, because there's so much to do in that game. Those alternate paths through each level just made it amazing.
Yeah. Aggro?
Okay.
Oh, God.
No,
this is coming up.
So here's my confession. I went from that first Mario they packaged with Duck Hunt to 6 golden coins. I didn't play much Mario on consoles growing up. I just played the fuck out of 6 golden coins.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good fucking Mario.
Shit, yes it was.
Yeah, that was fucking solid. In fact, I kind of like that one more than World. Now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, it was interesting because once I had a discussion with Eric about this, where it was like, well, Super Mario World 3 was this huge bombastic adventure with insane amount of scale, like way more than World. Count the levels. All these different themes to each area, so it was drastically different every time you went to a new area. All these different suits and items and mechanics.
That's the thing that's hard to get over with 3. There's so much different stuff to get.
Yeah, it was like the super AAA title of the NES, and then World just scaled it back. He loves World because Eric
can't play NES games.
Yeah, he can't play NES games. He can't stand them because because they're that rudimentary.
What a queer.
Pretty much.
You right?
Hey, Eric. Yeah, we know you're listening. You're a queer.
That is pretty fucking queer, Eric.
From your friends at GigaBoots.com.
We're not friends anymore, you queer.
Hey, we're friends, so that way when you get back we can play some fucking Kirby. but you're still queer. We're gonna play some NES Kirby. How about that, asshole? That's what I thought. Queer.
Okay.
Fun fact:
Wait.
Eric is not actually gay.
Retarded guy. My bad. Did I mix those up again?
God damn it, Aggro! That is not the... Fuck! You know, you don't have to deal with the comments and the hate mail.
Yeah, isn't that great?
No!
Bob, agree with me how great that is for me.
Well, that is great for you, okay?
Yeah,
I have to
that's all
tell
that's
you
important.
that.
Bob, I hate you. I hate you. You shouldn't even admit it. It's great for him because he's going to do it more.
So Tetris.
No.
No?
No.
Not going to say it?
No.
Really?
No. Okay. Out of this friends group, I own the most copies of the most Tetris games. By far.
Okay.
No.
You're going to have to expand on that a little bit for me.
Tetris as an IP has been slapped on the shittiest fucking games.
Yeah?
Tetris 2. Tetris 2 sucked.
Okay,
Dicks.
how do you fuck up Tetris?
It had bombs.
That's pretty horrible.
There were bombs in the blocks.
So mistakes have been made.
Okay.
But are we not still getting good
Tetris Man
games
Zero.
every now and then?
Well, we are now.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Like I think that last one on the PSN.
Really, that's the thing. It didn't age well. It stayed the same. And that, like, it's a classic title. I would say the original Tetris.
One on the PSN has a bunch of new added stuff to it.
See, that's the thing. It's not all that new. Most of that has existed in some form in multiple other Tetrises
Yeah, it's just
since.
aggregate things that grew up with the game.
Yeah.
And we, took some of the things that worked and tried to cut out a few of the retarded ideas we had.
Yeah.
So
okay, so I can say... I don't want to say that franchise aged well, though.
Well, like
that
a fine
franchise
wine.
survived.
Grape juice is pretty sweet. Wine's pretty awesome. That middle section, you don't want any of that.
Yeah, it survived, but I wouldn't say, like, it did better than Sonic. Clearly.
So did Columns.
Why the hell aren't we playing Columns?
Why aren't we playing Columns?
You want to play some Columns after this?
Yes.
Shit, yeah, we should play some Columns. Don't give me that look, you non-Columns fag. You know Bob doesn't like Columns.
What a retard.
What a retard. And a queer.
Wait. Okay.
I'll explain the difference to you.
Escalator's the one that...
Yeah.
No, I was right. I was right the first time.
In any case, so Tetris aged well in that it didn't change much. Tetris Plus was a really good iteration on the concept of Tetris. I'll have to show you that. It's fairly complex.
I
to
remember the
explain.
64 one.
Tetris Sphere?
I don't remember. I remember kicking your ass at it all night.
Okay, well, there's Tetris Worlds, which I'm pretty sure... No, wait. That is not the name of the one I'm thinking of. Whatever. The company that made Tetris Sphere also made the Tetris you're thinking of, which is the new Tetris or something stupid like that. I think it's new Tetris or Tetris
whatever.
New or
There's
Tetris
some words
whatever.
around it. It fucking says Tetris.
Yeah. Tetris Sphere was a solid game. I love that game.
That wasn't Tetris-y at all, though. I don't know.
It was in a sense, but it is so removed from the concept. It's kind of like how Mario 64 wasn't quite Mario, like, before it.
Right.
Because it wasn't, you're going through these levels to get to the next ones. They realized art production cost too much to make that many levels, so they're like, you're going through the same level to get goals, and now it's about exploration. It's kind of that same thing, I think. Because you're still dealing with puzzle elements involving fitting pieces together and 4 squares and stuff like that. But now it's, you have to touch enough of the squares of the same type together to be able to delete them. And that is as far removed, I think, in a sense, that 64 is from the original Mario games. Because you're still dropping blocks of 4 at a certain rate.
Yes, you are still that basic concept, but yeah, it gets pretty far out there.
I think you just say that because you don't enjoy Tetris Sphere.
I don't enjoy that game at all, no.
Yeah.
It just...
You're saying Tetris Sphere, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you not played
No, I think I have, but I'm hearing Tetris Fear.
Tetris Sphere?
And it's fucking with my head.
Tetris Sphere. It's a game where you have to drop the blocks up and down as a man cuts into your wrist. It's not a literal video game. It is a game I played with my drunk uncle once every 3 weeks. I don't know why it was once every 3 weeks. He just showed up every third Sunday and he's like, well, it's time to play Tetris Sphere.
So Dragon Age is still good, right?
Yeah, well, that's like
What?
how old? That's,
What?
That's a single gen old, half a gen?
Oh, I said Dragon Age, didn't I?
You meant Dragon's Lair, didn't you?
No, I meant Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest.
Ah.
Yeah, Dragon Quest's still good. There really hasn't been a bad...
until they make 10 and that blow or
that sucks.
Wait, is it 10?
Yeah,
yeah, 10 because 9 was the
9's
DS
on the
one.
DS, 8 is on the PS2.
Oh, and 10's that one they're going to try and like MMO or something?
Yeah.
Sort of?
Yeah, so as of the recording of this podcast...
Begin the train wreck.
Dragon Quest has been an amazing series and we can salute it.
We will miss you.
Hell, the original installments are still so good. My grandfather still does speedruns of them. My grandfather's totally E-Pro.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
He's fucking metal.
Like, I walked in, he was playing a 64 game I'd never heard of and describing systems I didn't know you could do on the 64.
He's just a badass man. He really is.
So
and Dragon Quest is, much like him, an old man that's badass.
I'd like to take this moment to liken the run of Final Fantasy games to the Challenger explosion.
Okay.
How there's all these great things leading up to it. You know, you got like fucking 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. They're awesome. Fucking. I wasn't a fan of 7, but don't tell anyone. 8 was okay. I love the shit out of 9. I've got half an erection just talking about it right now. And honestly, I liked most of 10, but 10 was that moment where you realize something's wrong. Where it's going into the air and you hear that sickening crack and you're like, should it be at that angle? And then it flips over and you see 10-2 on the other side. And that's when it fireballs.
Yeah, I think Final Fantasy X was the first time a Final Fantasy came out. And it sort of clicked with me. Like, earlier we were talking about... what game was it? I was talking about a game that taught me a really important lesson about life. Oh, Bubsy 3D.
Oh, okay.
Bubsy 3D. We weren't recording this, but we brought up Bubsy 3D, and Bubsy 3D was the first time I realized not everything that is 2D and good is 3D and good. Sometimes bad things happen when you try to take the same gameplay and make it work in 3D. But Final Fantasy X was the first time I really realized that no matter how long a franchise is, no matter how absolutely AAA and solid each and every installment is, things fall. Gravity affects quality. And Final Fantasy X is really when it stopped being that absolute level of a new Final Fantasy is out. And I don't even play RPGs, people. I don't actively participate in the RPG genre. But somebody goes, the next Final Fantasy's out, and I go, oh my god, what the fuck, BBQ? That was the first time that happened, and I looked at it, and I just sort of went, oh my god. No.
Man, like half of 10 is one of the best video games ever. But it's attached to the other half of 10. And it's not like I can stop playing after a while. No, it's like iron ore, you know, that shit's all the way through it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was like, there isn't like a half of that game that's good, literally. But I can see that, yeah, there were these good systems just paired with these not good systems.
So if I can have this like spin-off game with the same combat system where it's just like Oron and Kamari buddy copping it around.
That reminds me though, I need to
Walker
play...
can come too.
Oh, okay. Can he now?
Yeah, but he can't fight because his combat sucked.
Yeah, okay.
I kind of need to play through 13. Because I stopped about 12 hours in, something like that.
I guess 13's another point where it's like, they spent so long on that, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
And it's so pretty in some areas, or in looks, but it just doesn't have the depths that you expect from Final Fantasy. And that's
I was kind of weirded out by that. Like, I was watching Dan play a bit, and I'm like, okay, this is really cool. When does this cutscene end?
Right?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Because apparently, when you produce assets on par with what we expect from video games, you generally make bad video games. Hopefully that'll change next gen. Hopefully somehow. I don't know how.
Well, maybe if they were like, maybe if they just sit there and be like, this is it. This is good enough. This looks good, guys. And then they just make a good game.
Like, here's the thing.
I know that won't fly, but...
No, like, the next gen isn't going to be, for the most part, about these massively harder to make models compared to this gen. We get a lot of graphical techniques that make things easier compared to this gen. We will.
Right.
And processors that are infinitely easier to program for, unless Sony fucks up again, which the Vita is great evidence that Sony is definitely making a dev-friendly PS4. That is definitely where they're heading. Like, it's Sony headquarters ever since the PS2 and their fall from grace since then has become a dick suck central for developers. It really has. That's why the PlayStation Store is a great place to publish on if you can afford the dev kit and can program a fucking PS3.
Yeah. So
and don't want sales.
I always had this theory about Square.
Yeah.
Squeenix, I think they call it now.
Squeenix, yeah.
But, they always talked about how they cock tease with the remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
I believe they will do it one day.
Yeah.
And it will be the death knell of their company. Like, they're like, we're all going to jail and the company's going down, so let's try and make this before we all go to hell.
You ever wonder... You ever think that Sylvester Stallone, like, he is Square Enix? Like if you look at the both of them...
What?
Stallone's movies follows Square Enix's games on a very similar charting, and you just wonder at the end of it all, how did he survive it? How did Square Enix survive 10 and 10-2? How did that happen?
Because 10 was okay.
I don't...
It just...
Then people somehow liked 12. I don't know how that happened, but it did.
I never really played much of it, so...
That's a weird thing.
can't
I don't
weigh on
understand
that.
people who like 12 and hated 13. Like, oh, 13's terrible. Like,
Well, they were wholly different concepts. I mean, 12 was geared directly towards MMO players.
Right.
13 was geared towards,
someone?
I guess, just people who wanted the story, and that was it. So
And pretty
I was
graphics.
okay with it.
And pretty graphics.
I was going to buy 13, I was, because, like, oh, it's a corridor. I'm like, I can take a corridor, but I like I said, I watched Dan play it for a while, and I was that kid that would make up names for random shit I'd find on the ground and, like, imagine backstories, and I have empathy with them. I could not care about the characters in 13. I couldn't.
See, I don't understand that, but at the same time, I don't understand you hating Snow. I actually like Snow. He's my favorite character. He's enjoyable.
Isn't he the guy that keeps declaring he's going to marry some random chick?
No. He's with that chick. They're actually dating,
Oh, yeah?
and then
Okay.
she gets...
I thought he kept, like,
Trapped
pointing to a
into
crowd and going, I'm going to marry one of these bitches.
No.
Wow, that would be a more interesting character.
I think that was Barrett.
I don't think that Mary was what he was going to
I
do.
think that was Yuffie. But yeah, it's, so yeah, Final Fantasy is clearly not one that has aged well.
It is clearly
It is
in its
definitely.
downturn. Hopefully, with these other things,
See, here's the thing: like, even 13 Versus isn't distinctly Final Fantasy like, and that's the one I'm looking forward to. Versus 13.
This is true. It's not typically Final Fantasy like, but it's still it's supposed to go back to the open world map.
It's
a bunch of those old Final Fantasy things. Just plus, it's going to have the different combat entirely.
Yeah, I don't know. That less comes off as Final Fantasy, and more comes off as Square Enix, Squaresoft sort of feeling. Like, when I think of Versus 13, I think of Kingdom Hearts and the Bouncer. Things that are not Final Fantasy, but are Square Enix distinctly. You know? It's got this scale, it's got this sort of art look to it.
I guess, I mean, that makes sense, but that's kind
Square
of what...
Enix made a lot of games that weren't Final Fantasy, like Dino Crisis, Parasite Eve, The Bouncer, Kingdom Hearts. And they all sort of share this sort of look.
True, but I think it gears more towards the Final Fantasy and a lot of look, because those other things never involved monsters.
It looks like Advent Children.
Yeah, okay.
So if you take Advent Children as how Final Fantasy has looked the whole time,
no.
Sure.
Not saying that, but I mean, it's what Final Fantasy has kind of become over the years.
So if we're looking at the last, excluding offshoots, 3 and 4 installments, because that would be 10, 11, 12, and 13, right? And Advent Children isn't a game, so we can't count that. So if you look at those installments, it sort of looks like that stuff.
Well, once they hit this gen, we're able to do stuff like Advent Children, and that's obviously the way that 13 was going. That's very much that high-tech craziness.
Yeah, it's sort of hard to describe. Like,
I mean,
I'm not sure that Versus is close enough to a Final Fantasy game with its radically... I don't know. It's not even turn-based
probably
anymore.
as much Final Fantasy game as Type 0 is a Final Fantasy game. that was awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can be awesome, but they aren't exactly Final Fantasy.
Right. I mean, I see where you're coming from, but
Yeah,
maybe 13.2 will just redeem 13.
there's the possibility.
There is. That is supposed to have a lot of stuff.
So then we got Mega Man. That didn't age well.
Oh wow, Mega Man. We got here. Can we do Shinobi first?
Nope.
Darn it.
Nope. So nobody back in the day was happy with the amount of Mega Man game coming out on the NES. Then X came out, and everyone thought everything was better. Then they had multiple X installments after that, and people started getting sick of it by X3. 7 came out somewhere therein, I think after X2. Not entirely positive right now. Can't memorize all these dates. And then people were pissed that 7 wasn't infinitely better than 6. It just felt like 6 minus, in a way, because 6 had those 3 different suits, normal, POW, and Jet.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you got to 7 and you had to unlock POW combined with Jet after doing a ton of crap, and you had that stupid rush search system, which was horrible, and then you only fought 4 bosses at a time. You did the first 4 and then unlocked the next 4. Stuff like that.
Yeah, they were trying that for a while. It was weird.
And then you get to the PlayStation, we did 8, and 8 seems like even more like 6 than 7, but with fewer systems. It's so strange, the evolution of Mega Man. It almost seems like it came out and it just kept running and it kept running and it got slightly better each time. It kept doing it, and then eventually at the end of it all, it crawled back into its grave. Like
here's 9 and 10, and what are you doing? Oh
yeah,
my god!
It just gave up, crawled back into its grave, and as an IP, it's done.
Yeah,
because they aren't doing an next-gen Mega Man, which pisses me off so much. Like Capcom, you are so uncreative that you cannot postulate a world in which a multi-console, a multi-platform Mega Man game that is a high-end shooter would not succeed.
Yeah, that's insane. And you know that freaking what was his name? Inafune was there. He kept pushing it
for that. Yeah. But for some reason, they're convinced that only Japan likes robots to any extent.
I mean, I thought that we were past that at this point with Mega Man anyway, because everybody knows who Mega Man is.
Yeah, he is a classic IP, just like Mario, but they're just sitting on it. They're letting it go to waste.
Right.
Castlevania is the exact opposite. They've run that dry, and then they just completely perversed the whole concept at the very end. Turned it into God of War. It's such a classic IP. It shouldn't be a wannabe of a newer IP. That is the problem here. It should identify itself within its own realm. It honestly, if Castlevania were done right to maintain the feeling that the series has become known for, it should sort of like be more exploration based than an action game.
Right.
Once you bring it into 3D. That's sort of, then you got to think about, they did Symphony of the Night, and that was kind of Super Metroid. You know, that kind of happened. But
yeah,
Castlevania 2 was kind of like that too.
That's what I was saying before when we were talking. Like, I mean, they just stole that or they stole the Metroid idea for making the Castlevania come into that gen. Why don't they just steal Zelda concept and make it come into this gen?
Because that takes scale.
Yes,
and budget.
Does.
And they would much rather make a cheap action game.
Right.
Very cheap, from my understanding.
Really?
For an action game of that caliber, of that scale it was aiming for, yes. Apparently, they just were able to spit it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me, considering everything about that game.
Yeah.
Except that it's pretty, and that's apparently enough for a lot of people.
It is definitely a lot for enough people to make a game. What other sort of series do we even have that are from, like, I'm not going to count Bomberman. Bomberman just kept doing the same thing like Tetris, except for...
And then it became Act Zero, and everyone hated it.
Yeah,
I guess we can't count these sudden remakes like Elevator Action and that hamburger thing.
But yeah, those are just
those aren't franchises. Those are just an installment that's being remade for the modern gen.
Right.
Because if those were franchises, I would wonder how money even works anymore.
But what I was mentioning before, the Shinobi games, they tried to bring that in the PS2 back, and now they're doing it again on 3DS.
Yeah.
Which is, again, was just trying to go back to what it was on the Genesis.
Yeah.
Which
Like,
is weird.
When you look at it, a lot of development nowadays seems to be that the only risks that are being taken at all are being taken on the portables. And because of that, a lot of what's coming out on consoles are a lot of the same stuff. Especially from Japanese companies.
Well, I mean, freaking Shinobi's on the 3DS. That's a portable. They can take a risk.
But they aren't.
Yeah.
Because they would rather make money and play it safe.
I mean, Shinobi's one of those series that it's not that big. They aren't going to sales solely on, it's a Shinobi game, I'm going to go buy that.
Right. Especially on the 3DS. That was a huge mistake.
Like, every part of that's like, what are you thinking? This was always this kind of small game. This is maybe a downloadable title if you want to do a remake like this?
Okay, I got hit by it.
What?
Contra.
Contra
aged well.
Are you sure?
Yeah. How many bad Contra games do you know of? One.
Let's see.
That PlayStation 1 one.
Yeah, the PlayStation 1
one of the two PS1 ones was good.
Okay, I'll trust you on that.
The other one was terrible.
Because I played that terrible one.
Yeah.
God,
when you get to the PS2, there are two good Contra games. One of them absolutely amazing, and one of them good. Like, just good.
All right.
Contra 4 is fucking badass, and Hardcore is insanely badass.
What about that Wii one?
Oh yeah, I haven't tried Rebirth.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah. Well, I guess I should try it since Contra Rebirth, they actually went out of their way to develop that. And Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth, they just got stuck on because they remade some other classic Konami game.
Nice.
And they clearly knew what they were doing there with the cheetah sounds that Dracula made and all the other stupid shit in that.
That's awesome.
It is hilarious. It is funny as a canonical element. But no, it is not awesome.
Yeah, there's Gradius, I guess, is another one.
We're still making that?
No, we made Automadeus Excellence, which is a fucking... They replaced the ships. It's a joke Gradius game. Like, all along with Gradius, we've had Parodius.
Yeah.
But then, like, the last Gradius game was 2004 with Gradius 5. And then this fucking little girl flying shooters coming out just now. 7 fucking years later, we get that.
Apparently, they've been making these games alongside them. They replaced the Parodius series.
What do you mean?
The playing as the girl is a space or driving a spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
I'm saying that this isn't just now that's happened. This is
I know.
This has been going, and
I know.
Now it's finally coming here.
No. What has just now happened is they gave up on Gradius, but not on that.
Right.
And that makes me so angry.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
That is so fucking upsetting. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of appreciation I developed for Gradius between 2001 and 2004. And then it died.
Right, I don't know why they wouldn't want to make it downloadable titles, because that's obviously where those kind of games are going these days.
Exactly. And really, that much 2D art or even 3D art would not be hard.
Right.
There's a market for that. You know, Japan actually just does not... This isn't a racist thing. This is a cultural thing. They don't understand downloadable games. Like, if you look at downloadable games, almost all of them are American or European made. And that's because we understand there's a market for it. But in Japan, there really isn't.
It's weird. It's
strange.
It makes me wonder why so many Japanese games get released on the 360 for downloadable market. Like, that's...
Well, most of those Microsoft is totally funding. Like, because they have such crap sales in Japan.
Right.
That Microsoft is probably just really trying to get the 360 to pick up there.
Right.
And they kept funding all of these ports. And they're like, eventually, if we have enough flying shooters and weird Japanese games, it'll work. And it didn't. Which is weird and goes back to this concept of the console is not only the games, but it is the service and the service and the experience that it delivers. You know? Like, the PS3 as a console, it has the best games this gen, hands down. But as a console itself, it kind of sucks. Like, it could be a lot better if Sony hadn't come in with this concept that they're going to make Blu-ray work, goddammit. Definitely would have gone better for this gem if they didn't do that. In any case, Gradius, yeah, no, that fucking curled up and died.
Yes. I'm trying to think other ones actually made it true to this gen.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle! I'm not going to
No.
count anything that's based on another IP. So.
We still making Metal
Oh,
Slug?
Prince of Persia. That
We'll get
made
to
it-
Prince of Persia in a Prince of Persia in a second. Real quick, when was the last
Metal
Slug?
Slug?
made?
'Cause it seems like we
They
had,
made
or did we
7.
have, like a collection.
Yeah,
Yeah,
7.
what was 7 for the DS?
7 was for the DS, and then they ported it to the PSP. That was like 2 years ago, I think.
Right.
Something like that.
Okay,
so that
Metal Slug still
it
churning.
persists.
It
Somewhat.
does, yeah.
Other than that, they made the 3D one that luckily never came to the States. I played that. That was the
There was a 3D Metal
they made
Slug.
a 3D Metal Slug.
What was it for?
It was for the PS2. It was god awful.
I think we need to do a
It
quick
was
play of
like
that sometime.
It was like Ultra Beast bad. 3D Ultra Beast bad.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I'm like, I will leap over this fucking table.
It shiv you with a flathead screwdriver, apparently.
It's pretty
Tiny
short.
flathead screwdriver.
I need that for my fucking PC and shit, you know?
He needs this for fucking his PC.
Yeah. Yeah, what's that, the USB slot? It's kind of shallow, but I'll make it work.
Firewire, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never look at the hot swap slot on the front of my PC the same way again.
No, you won't. Prince of Persia was a good example of something that was subsisting quite well.
Well, yeah,
Until
it
this
died
time.
out for a long time and actually came back in
Yeah.
PS2, and that was really amazing
Yeah.
for the first installment. Then they made 2 horrible installments.
Yeah.
Harvest Moon still good?
Well, I mean, we're not talking about Prince of Persia. Come on.
Oh yeah, you got more than that?
Yeah, they brought it to PS3 and 360.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and then it's just sort of like interesting new canon because it's a reboot, and then they did the cash in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like they completely
guess
felt it was necessary
like
to.
I've talked to so many people who just hated that first canon reboot solely because of the look of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, wow. I didn't think that just doing that cell shaded style would turn people off from the concept. It's already that fantastical.
Well, when I think about it, the cell shaded style didn't look like it had a point. Like, the characters were cell shaded and the environments were more fantastical than they were before, but it didn't look like the visual style didn't look thick. It didn't look like it had an overall aesthetic.
I
If
don't
you
know.
ask me, it didn't look rich.
I think they did a pretty good job trying to make everything look like it was a painting. Like, and then with the whole
Like, when I think visually rich, I think Okami.
it wasn't as extreme as Okami, but it was kind of going that direction.
Yeah, it was headed that direction. I don't think it fully packed the punch there. Like when we showed up at the party, there wasn't any punch. We were like, who forgot to pack it? And they were like, it was us. And I was like, really? What are we gonna drink? And they're like, I have water. I suppose we're in the desert, so water's good.
But yes,
you know.
but I guess the main problem I had with that game was that they bought the combat. Like, they screwed it, and then they did it again for the cash-in one.
See, I never played the cash-in one.
Yeah, the
at
cash-in one had just really broken combat compared to the PS2 ones. It's like, how did they not?
How did this get worse?
Yeah, how did they screw this up so bad? I don't think we're gonna get another one. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I think that franchise is effectively dead. When
Prince
they
of Persia
cashed it in.
Racers.
Razors?
Racers.
Oh, racers?
Desert kart racing. I'm waiting for it.
Cool. I wish Sony took Jack and Daxter and threw that as a PS3 game onto some developer that wasn't Naughty Dog.
Right. I'm surprised we're getting a Sly 4. I don't know, like...
I'm
I have
glad
to wonder
we're
if
getting,
that's going to be good.
I have to wonder too, but Sony relatively has a pedigree for quality, I think. Because their only bad AAA game this gen was Resistance 2.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Unless we start counting 2007 games, in which case we have Heavenly Sword and Lair joining those ranks.
Yep.
And something else. Haze? Did they pay for Haze?
They didn't pay for Haze.
Okay, no.
Free Radical just went crazy there.
Yeah, who's their publisher, though?
Oh, God.
It may
What
have
was it,
been Sony.
Ubisoft?
Was it Ubisoft?
I think it was.
I think it was.
Yeah, I
You're
think
right.
Ubisoft
You're
was
right.
on that
yeah,
box.
Ubisoft. Yeah, okay. Because I was like, it was some not American. Okay, so yeah, Heavenly Sword, Lair, and Resistance 2 are the 3 bad AAA titles from Sony this gen. And when you compare that to the much larger amount of AAA titles they made that were really good, Mod Nation Racers, Killzone 2, Killzone 3, Little Big Planet, Little Big Planet 2, Infamous 2, like, that is a large number of, like, they're all good.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty good at keeping on quality, but I have to wonder if this is going to be something they treat as a AAA title, if it's going to treat it more like PlayStation Move Heroes.
See, I think PlayStation Move Heroes is the black sheep here, and that Sony really wanted to get a Move title out ASAP.
It wasn't even at the proper time, though.
No, it wasn't.
They missed the boat, and then it was still bad.
They missed the boat, and then they couldn't swim. So when they leapt in the water, that was a dumb fucking move.
As you can see this, tiny black sheep, wool soaked in water, just bleeding as it sinks beneath the inky waves.
Just flailing.
Why do I live?
You don't if you just give it a minute. But yeah, so I mean, I think Sony's starting to get the whole developing IP, but I feel disappointed that they let Jak and Daxter sort of drop.
Yeah.
Because admittedly, it is Naughty Dog's move there, but Sony only cared as much to say, here's a PSP Jak and Daxter. And that took 4 years.
Well, they made a Daxter game on the PSP.
I don't count that.
Okay.
I don't count that. That is just so not Jak and Daxter feeling. Have you played it?
No, not really.
Yeah, no. I got it for free with my PSP and traded it in. I would not have done that with a real
Join
Jak and
everyone.
Daxter. Yeah. But yeah, so I guess in the long run, what we've learned is that if people spend like a good 4 years, at bare minimum 3 years, making a solid installment, instead of feeling the need to churn out a copy every fucking year of your game, it's better for the long run. Just make smaller games that are based on it by other developers going forward, and you're good.
I'm sure the Call of Duty is going to turn out amazing.
Well, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 just came out 40 minutes ago. So I guess we'll find out.
I guess so.
Yep.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us for this roundtable. I think we learned a lot about how Nintendo's really good at developing IPs and games. And as we covered elsewhere, not hardware. And Sony's starting to get better about this, while Microsoft is kind of cannibalizing every studio
they
ever
do just
owned.
kind of shove them under the water once they screw up once, because they made them screw up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's true. Bob's not being a hater.
Yeah,
They seriously do that.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of sick.
They only have one studio
I wonder
left,
what
right?
happened to Ensemble. Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, them. Make a Halo game. Oh, my God, this isn't going to work. What have you done?
Why do you make me do this?
Oh, my God. I need to get Toast to draw that. Microsoft as an IP holder. What do you make me do this? Holding head underwater.
I guess that the only thing they've really managed to keep alive, because I don't count
Halo.
Yeah, Halo, because they definitely aren't they aren't the reason that Gears is still good.
Oh,
They
yeah,
are
definitely.
completely removed from that process. That's the only reason Gears is good.
And, honestly, Halo has mostly been the same thing, too, because they tried to get Bungie to move into their home office, and they said no. And then they're like, hopefully we're not making Halo in 5 years. And 5 years later, they're filming a documentary about hopefully they're not making... Or now they've bought themselves back from Microsoft, and they aren't making Halo in 5 years, and they damn well know it.
Right?
And that, too, is an important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
David Jaffe talking about, he wanted to make a sequel to something. I forget what. Either it was Calling All Cars or something else. Oh, wait, no. It was that PSP game that he was making that got canceled. That was about the Chinese invading America. Yeah. Yeah, it was a war game that he was making for a while, about a year at bare minimum. And eventually he just realized the team he was working with, who's the Twisted Metal team, Scott Campbell and etc., they weren't a good team for that. And he was like, okay, we shouldn't, no. Let's not do this anymore. And that's important too. You can't just take your team and shove it into working.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta let the spices flow.
The spice must flow.
The spice must flow. And I think that's it for this. We now weep for Castlevania, Mega Man, all the other
Gradius.
Gradius. I weep twice as hard for Gradius.
Oh, Elder Scrolls is still awesome.
Oh,
that has been going forever, hasn't it?
I
forget that the Oblivion was freaking 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morrowind was
fucking
3. Morrowind came out in like 02 or 03 on the Xbox.
I keep asking around. Most of the people who played Oblivion don't know what 1 and 2 are.
We don't either.
Neither do I.
I know of them. I've looked it up on Wikipedia. I've never seen it played.
Games, right?
Yeah, they're PC games.
They're old school, like back of the shelf PC games.
Oh, are we gonna ye old quick play that shit?
Oh fuck,
we better.
Oh, we better. Thanks for listening. It's over. Stop playing the video. Stop it. Oh my god. What? What?
No,
No, we're not ending it like that.
no. It's fucking gay. Wait.